So you've got two variations. You've got the D1100, which is $199, or starting from $199. And then you've got the Snapdragon 865, which is the one that I've got, and that starts at $229. But obviously pay attention to the shipping. At the moment, it's a bit tricky coming out of China, so it could take however long it takes. This means that anything under PS2 is gonna run flawlessly. I don't even know why I'm talking about it. Your PS2 systems will run really, really well. GameCube will be near perfect. Wii will be running stable. Wii U may be a bit glitchy on some titles. And as we've seen, things like your Xbox and your PS3, much of the lighter stuff, will run as well. I don't have PS3 or Xbox in this video. I've only just got my hands on the device, and I wanted to get this out there to you to let you see what I saw. You've got 4 colors to look forward to. GameCube, 16-bit. You've got black, and you've got your ice blue as well. Storage, you've only got 128 gig on board, but you've got access to your TF card slot, so that makes a massive difference as well. It is running on Android 13, so you've got full access to the Play Store. The display, 5.5-inch AMOLED, and it looks crispy clean. Love that. You've got a decent battery size, 5000 mAh. It's got a fan in there to keep it cool. Things like fan noise tend to bother people, doesn't bother me none. You've got your 3D HAL sticks, which are embedded inside of a LED light, which is very, very cool. You've got Bluetooth 5.1, and you've got Wi-Fi 6 on there, so that makes your transference of data and stuff like this over Wi-Fi really smooth. And lastly, you've got over-the-air support. I don't want to go too much into the specs because there's going to be a bunch of videos, and there are a bunch of videos out there that go into more detail, but I just like to get straight into the device and look at the hardware. So one thing that bothers me about this device is that SD card slot door. I find it really fiddly, and it just gets on my nerves because it's like it doesn't give you enough space to really get your fingers to like move it out the way in order to get the SD card in there. I mean, it's already difficult and fiddly already because you've got to like press it with your nail, and if you haven't got any nails, you're gonna have a hard time getting the SD card out of the slot. So one of the things that I've seen that bothers a lot of reviewers is the top of the device. That circular design choice that Retroid decided to use, not a particularly good one. It seems to bug a lot of people. Doesn't bother me any because I don't really look at the device like that. Once I start playing it and it's open, I don't get to see that. But the best thing to do, Retroid, is to just get a logo. Around the edges of the device isn't anything special to speak of, although I will bring up the triggers. They have a textured feel and they're quite clicky, tactile, and I like that. Not particularly loud either, so you ain't gotta worry about pressing them too much when you're playing them in bed with your other half next to you. You ain't gotta worry about them waking up. The looks and feel of the device is also something that's not worth complaining about. I quite like a chunky device. I don't think there's any issue with that. Something more substantial in size makes it easier to hold, especially for them longer gameplay sessions. The plastic feels great. I mean, to some with the dev models, they felt a bit cheap, but obviously this retail version isn't bad. The plastic feels good, it's comfortable, and it's ergonomic where it needs to be. I mean, you're not gonna get a great deal of ergonomics when it comes to a flip device. So this is as good a time as any, really, to check out the LEDs under the joysticks. So you can mess around with it here. You can see how to adjust it, how bright you want it, the various different colors. And also I can show you right now how the display looks when you go all the way to dim and all the way to bright. As you can see with the display, you're not gonna have any issues playing this in the dark if you're next to your partner or anything like that, so you won't disturb them too much. But I would advise you turn off those LEDs. They can get pretty bright. As I mentioned before, the operating system here is Android. So if you are new to using Android or new to this kind of thing, there is going to be a bit of a learning curve there. It's not going to be as simple as pick up and play. The good news is that there is some steps to follow as you are setting this device up. As you can see here, there are some pre-installation apps that it suggests for you. You just tick the boxes, and you can pre-install them. But personally, I prefer to load my own, and many other people do. In typical Android fashion, you just take your finger and swipe from the top of the display down a little bit, and you're going to be met with the quick navigation menu in there. You can do things like adjust your brightness, change your button setup. You can turn your RGB lights on and off, and various other bits, fan speed, all of that kind of stuff, performance, all of that will be inside there. So Retroid were kind enough to provide their own launcher, which is really simple, straightforward, and easy to use. no problem there. I mean, if you want to mix up and do your own thing, you can. Me personally, I just like to use the original Android tablet kind of look. I like that. So I wanted to take this opportunity to do somewhat of a fireball test with Tatsunoko, but also I wanted to do a sound test, because usually when we're watching these reviews, sound testing is done in a quiet environment, but that's not always the case. So I thought we'll take it outside and do it in a real world situation with outside noise. So let's see how it does inside of this shopping complex. So I'm going to showcase the performance on this device, starting from Switch and working all the way back to PS2. I would show some of the 16-bit stuff, but I'll do that on a separate video. We already know that that's going to run flawlessly. I will say there are no tweaks that are done to this. This is literally once the games are put on and then just watching the performance from there.
Of the 27 graduates, only 9 will be accepted as candidates, and the chance that you'll fail is at least 66%.
That can't be! What was the graduation test for anyway?
Oh, that? Just to select potential candidates.
What? Well, I'm not gonna be weeded out. Out of my face! Even with us!
Come on, take that. You got soft. See that coming. Why can't I remember anything? Whoa, I'm a long way up. What and where is this place?
So yeah, the Retroid Pocket Flip 2. I'm not surprised, but I'm thoroughly impressed by the performance on this new Flip 2. Really enjoying it. I would say definitely get one, and if you do, get the more expensive one. The Snapdragon processor is that much better than the B1100, so there's no point in trying to skimp out on that. I've not had the best track record of support for Retroid. I mean, I had the Retroid 1, I had the Retroid Pocket 2, loved the design of it, hated the way that it felt. Android was just not Android on that thing. The display was too small and it was touchscreen, it just didn't work. And even when they made the S version of it, I was already put off at this point, which is why I skipped out on the Retroid Pocket 3. However, the Retroid Pocket 4 Pro swung me back in, brought me back into the game, and then obviously I've gone for this Flip 2 and I missed out on the 5. I can definitely say I recommend this, and this definitely is the best clamshell on the market that you can buy right now, especially at this reasonable price. There are other Flip devices out there. I mean, what else is comparable to this? in terms of performance, it's probably going to be the Ioneo's version of it, but that's just way too expensive. And I think for a more reasonably priced device that can do this kind of performance with this kind of power, I'll definitely go with this over the Ioneo one, but that's just me. So yeah, I hope you guys liked the video. I'll leave a link in the description below so you can snag yourself one and have an in-depth look at the specs and stuff yourselves. And yeah, I'll catch you down the road. Take care, stay safe, and peace.